racing, folks, and it's a very even start from the entire field.
There's a freight train forming behind him right now. He will be as nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. I can give you the hot tip. Sideways as a bishop on a chessboard. That was incredible car control.
Going for a bit of an ambitious dive now, and oh, there's contact! Here they come now around the final turn on the final lap. They're side by side.
Oh, and there's contact now. Someone is going to be hitting the showers early tonight, I'll tell you what.
Crosses the line for P1. Brilliant racing, absolutely sensational stuff.
This is heart pounding. This is nerves rising. This is sensational TV.
All right, now this is a circuit that asks proper questions. Shell V Power Motorsport Park, wide, modern, and deceptively demanding. It looks open, but it doesn't give lap time away. The long straights reward strong exits, no desperation needed. The high-speed sweepers test commitment under load, and the technical middle sector exposes balance, braking control, and patience. This place is about rhythm. Break that rhythm, however, and the lap gets away from you quickly. In GT3 cars, though, it becomes even more revealing. Time management matters over distance. Traction zones decide overtakes, and car positioning through the flowing sections determines whether you're attacking or defending. You can't force results here. You build them, corner by corner, lap by lap. Drivers who stay disciplined will move forward. Drivers who chase the race too early will find themselves working twice as hard later. This is a thinking driver's circuit. Aussie Sim Racing, ladies and gentlemen. The GT3 Challenge Tuesday night specials, and it's happening live here, as always, on your home of motorsport, Sensational TV.
I got you moving. I got you.
Oh, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. The home of motorsport. I love that, Zach O'Reilly. Yes, indeed. You apex dodgers, curb abusers, and people who still think the turn one here at the Bend is pretty chill. Strap yourselves in. Welcome to Sensational TV. I'm your host, Chris Munro. Tonight, it is round 6 of the Aussie Sim Racing GT Challenge, and we're rolling into the vast, sprawling, how is this still the same lap wonder that is the Bend Motorsport Park? A circuit with more corners than a government inquiry and straights long enough to reconsider your braking point, your setup, and at least one or two life decisions. GT3 cars here can get stretched, stressed, and occasionally surprised at how quickly the next corner arrives. Nail the flow, you look heroic. Miss it by half a metre, and you're conducting a tour of the South Australia's finest bit of dead grass out there, dead set in the fair dinkum boring department. Joining me tonight, anything but boring, in the commentary gondola tonight is Zach O'Reilly, a man who once tried to cook pasta using only the residual heat from his PC and claims it was al dente adjacent and refuses to apologise. Zachary, welcome aboard tonight. Big track, big speeds, big egos. Are we in for smooth GT3 mastery, or are we in for another enthusiastic demonstration of why the Bend has so much runoff? Welcome to the box.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it, and good to be here with you. And speaking of runoff, Zach O'Reilly is that far away from the circuit here at the moment. I might as well be back in bloody Adelaide, because the free space that we have around here, Chriso, is ridiculous. And I can see the track from the satellite because there's no obstructions, there's no trees, there's no grandstands, there's absolutely nothing out here at the Bend. It's just a circuit where people can come along and just take free will at wherever they want to sit and still be charged $450 at the gate. But this is the Bend Motorsport Park, as we like to formally call it, the Shell V Power Motorsport Park, Chriso. And the runoff here is aplenty. Spectators are absolutely nowhere to be seen, but the racing action is just going to be a dead set fair dinkum on the circuit, and I'm looking forward to this one. Good evening to all of our viewers out there as well in all the social media land where we are streaming. This is qualifying, and we're 6 minutes in, and finally we are not in the solo territory. This is Pressure Point Motors here, Christopher, and it's Dan Smith on screen right now, already setting the benchmark early.
Yeah, it just went bang, bang, bang. Purple in all 4 sectors here at the bend, and throwing down the gauntlet 7/10ths quicker than Ryan Hunter, a new face here in the GT3 Challenge tonight in the 970 BMW. Look at that thing go. But maybe a new face to give Mr. Smith something to think about. As Zach said, hello to all our viewers out there. X Trampoline, YT.
Mr. YouTube Trampoline himself.
Yeah, he's, I don't know what kind of content that is, but maybe, yeah, bouncing on trampolines, who knows. But hi to you, sir, in the chat, and be sure to share it around. Get all your friends watching, because we've got at least 26 of the best drivers around here at Aussie Sim Racing having a fair old crack at it today. Garth Duffy joining Dan Smith on the front row, only 1/10.5 behind him.
Oh, he's done a beautiful lap there in that Mustang. This is a track here where this car actually will come to light. I think Dan Smith's going to struggle in the later stages with that mid-engine vehicle. It needs a lot of rear rotation to get yourself pointed and turned in, and with a front-engine drive car, I hope that the Duff man here, who did put on a good show as well back in 2025 for their final season of the year here, he was on fire in the Mustang, and he's just come out clapping again. But Dan Smith, you can see on the bottom of the timing board there, on the second to the left, he's purple, green, purple, ladies and gentlemen. He's rounding the final turn here now. So he's just going to return serve here, Roger Federer style, from 40 lap down and just go bang, I'm assuming, here straight to the top. And that is a beautiful time, 45.232. Thank you, mother, for the rabbits. Pissed that one off, Garth Duffy. He says, I'm taking it back to the top. Beautiful stuff, but it's close in between third and fourth here, Chris O. Only 600ths of a second splitting Ryan Ferber and the old Seymour topless bikini titty.
Yeah, that's right. Bit of Seymour Butts there in the background as well in that shot in the Ferrari. So both of those guys split by an absolute bee's whisker here at the moment. Ferber on song here for an improvement, but it depends how bad he went in that third sector. As you can see, an orange light there, but no, he does improve. Goes up to the second spot on the tree with a 145.8, and is immediately eclipsed there by the Hunter himself. Just, he's got the guns a-blazing out here tonight, and he's got Ferber in the crosshairs and goes bang, and he's only 3 and a bit tenths behind Dan Smith as we speak.
He's a good man, this guy. Look out for him. We're going to call him the Prowler tonight, because he is out there hunting down Dan Smith like no tomorrow. And that BMW, mind you, we haven't seen many of them perform here as of late in this series with Aussie Sim Racing. But boy, oh boy, is this man who are putting it straight to the Justice Department. It is a quick machine if you got the right driver behind it at the moment. And they're looking very, very nice. Blue and white livery. Here is one of the mans that we definitely is a commentator's favourite here. Moneybags Payrack coming across the line there. Is he going to improve? He doesn't. Ooh. He's way down there, but drinking liquid gold there, according to the Queenslanders, and just doing exactly that, Chris. So now in that Mustang, it's Porsche City out there, though. Look at that from 8th down to 14th.
Oh, my goodness.
It's all Porsches, ladies and gentlemen. All the way. Right, Chambers, Orton, Bennett, Williams, the old Greek god himself, and the Gabriel thrower, Dan Justice there too. All in Porsches, and your brother sitting there in 15th in the Mustang, only 9,000s off that to spoil that party. And how close is it between all of those Porsches?
That's insane. Well, they are in equal machinery, so it all comes down to driver skill and setup as well when it's that close in the old what do you call it, the manufacturer's department. That's insane to see that. 9, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Porsches out there on the circuit at the moment. It's a very popular pick out there. Here's the leader of them here, Effin Chambers, as we're calling him now, in the old Toyota Rally livery there as well. Looks mighty nice on that Porsche as well. So a popular. Oh, there's a spin there in front. Oh, that's gonna hamper both of those guys coming through. So the Porsche in front of him pulls it up. He's had enough of that business, and Chambers now goes, or Effin Chambers goes up in between them. But in the meantime, we've got a new pole sitter provisionally here with 5 minutes to go. Ryan Hunter's just stuck it about 100 in front of Dan Smith.
Where has he come from, this man? Just absolutely putting it straight together, ladies and gentlemen. 4 sectors of absolute wizardry in the pure driving machine, that BMW, getting right out of the way of all his other competitors. Looks like he's got pace, he's got respect on track, lane and etiquette standards there as well, and giving Dan Smith something to hunt as well. This is good stuff. Look at this man go. Chicholina is back, ladies and gentlemen. Puts himself into 6th place. First of the Porsches there by 2 or 3 positions there on the track. 2/10 away from Guy Duffy's 5th place. But look out for this man in the racing standards. He is right up there, an aggressive overtaker, but fair and clean at the same time, Chriso.
That's right.
Bear with me for 1 second, Chriso. I've got to go feed these goddamn felines I've got here. I'll be back in a second. They're starving. I'll be back in 1 sec.
Fair enough. Zach O'Reilly just swimming in pussy, as they say. And if you've seen the man in real life, you'll understand why. This is Aussie Sim Racing. We've got 4 minutes to go here. Hunter has thrown the gauntlet down there to Dan Smith. He's eclipsed him by just about 200ths of a second. Smith trying to chase him down here, but not making way there in the sectoral department. So let's go down the order here and find a couple of... thought I saw a couple of new drivers here participating tonight. Down the back, no, we don't. It's Kobe Marshall yet to put in a time here, which is very un-Kobe-like. We've seen him very pacey throughout the races that we have called his name here on Sensational TV. Rounding the final turn here, no time as of yet. 45.2 is his best. That'll put him up on the front row, but he just needs to get around without any of these off-track incident points. Is he going to get one on the board here? He does not. So the pressure starting to build up here. Zach O'Reilly, I thought I heard him in the background there. If you are around,
yes, sir,
give us a hoy, hoy, hoy. But I tell you what, hoi, hoi, hoi. Kobe Marshall yet to put in a time, has been the victim of a couple of off-tracks here, so he's dead set, sitting in 27th position right now with no time and about 2.5 minutes to get it done.
He's under the big pressure point at the moment. He'll be feeling a bit like Ocean Gate submarine down there at this stage in the carbon fibre department. He needs to get himself up there, and look at that thing tail wagging itself through that as well out the other side of turn 5. He's under all sorts here. He's only got 2.5 minutes to go under now for him to put a lap down. So he's got this lap to do it. The tyre's going to hang on if he can't get this one right for another one. We'll find out for big old Coves. He was on fire in the Gen 3s on Sunday as well. Slots himself into a GT3 machine, and he is a top 5 competitor. So we'll look out for that. Ryan J. Ferber has just gone bang in the first sector with the personal best and the best overall. Second and third are looking pretty nice as well. Is he going to be able to pip over Dan Smith? But no one has been able to top Ryan Hunter here in this session. Under 2 minutes to go, Chriso. And that man has just come out of the blocks here, absolutely firing. People will be questioning whether he has grip.exe on or not.
Yeah, well, it's a possibility here in the sim realm. He's going to cross the line here, probably not for an improvement because that time is pretty handy indeed. So he'll cross the line at 1:45.2, only 5 thousandths behind his original time. So consistency is key here, and he's got fucking plenty of that, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Smith trying to chase him down. He's not gone purple in any of the sectors, so he's not going to be, I don't know if he's going to be able to catch him. But what we've seen from Dan Smith in the past is glorious consistency, and he does have that top step of the book there in the standings as well, as we can just check that out there. Dan Smith just in front of Ryan J. Ferber in the standings. Chambers there sitting in third. Gut Duffy fourth. Marshall, Rogers, Ortner, Clark, Cairns, and Douglas round out your top 10 there as a quick little look into the standings, and we can go into the 20 through to 30th position after this break. But here he is here. The Chocolate Starfish has made his way up to third position in the other of the Corvettes there as well. Josh Rimmer, a new face to the series.
Yeah, good man. He's up there. He's old butt licker, and he's going very, very hard. Is he going to be able to insert the tongue tonight into a race win? We don't know, but he's doing well. He's 4/10 of a second.
There he goes.
Wacko. He's just planted it at the last minute there. He's tapped the shoulder of Ryan Hunter and said, mate, I'm in for it, and I'm coming for you. 1/10 exactly. Has anyone got anything to charge back here at Dan Smith? Is Ferber on for a time? No, he's not. He is only green in the second sector. He's not going to set a personal best as he comes across the line here as the timer does go over to the checkered flag. That's Ryan J. Ferber. Bang, but he improves on his time, in fact. Gets 15 thousandths of a second over the old rim dog and gets into third place now provisionally. Seymour, Parkinson, and Chicholina have all called it quits there in the top 10 for that one. Smitho could go around for another one. That man has not got another lap in him as the Hunter. He has been hunted and got done for P1. Ryan Hunter there is well doing a great job. This man in the rim dog department. Can he go to the top? Because that is a beautiful looking microsector time at the bottom of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Green, purple, green here for 3 sectors out of 4. He's just got to nail that bit. Jeez, he uses all the track limiters and a bit more there on the outside. This Corvette is on fire. Can the old butt licker insert the tongue here and start rotating it to the rest of the field? This is on like Donkey Kong. He's only got a couple of seconds to go here. Son of Mark has come through and gone bang into P3. Punted Ferber out in the dying moments as well. What is this man going to be able to do here? He crosses the start-finish line very, very shortly here to set a perfect time. Is it going to be enough? It's third place for him. 45.492. Only 2.5 tenths away from Hunter. 3.5 tenths away from P1. And there goes Garth Duffy straight away back into a 2 for a third place. These third places been chopping and changing. There's been 4 different drivers all sealed themselves into that place position as we entered the dying seconds of that qualifying session. It was Ferber, then it was Reber, then it was Rimmer, and then the old beer man comes through and says, Buggy is all. What can this man do? Effing Chambers. Has he got anything to serve up in the last sector here? He's done a 2 personal bests in sector 2 and 1. The third one was a bit tardy, but sector 4's coming up. Can he do anything? No, he's just sent off into the bunda there. He's given up the ghost, Chris A. But what a session. And this man, biggest disappointment so far, but he's got the timing perfect here. Is he going to set a lap here, Chris O, to get himself out of that top 16?
Yeah, he's green across the board, so we're going to see it's certainly going to be an improvement on what he's got. Only needs to improve by 1,000th to at least go up to 15th, but you can see how tight it is in the timing tower. If he's up by a few tenths, it could pop him well into the top 10 here as he rounds the final turn. We've been informed by his old man that he's had VR problems as well, so hopefully this can get him back to somewhere where he deserves to be. He crosses the line. There's no improvement. There's been an off track along the way somewhere. Kobe Marshall is going to have to start down in 16th posse. Not where he's used to, but we've seen him come back from worse than that.
We have, and let's hope for the old Marshall household in David there watching along. And for Kobe's sake, that 16th place does not interfere with any of the tomfoolery we do see in that mid-pack. And have a look at those times there, ladies and gentlemen. That is Dan Smith takes our pole position. And it's going to be the Hunter coming out through for P2. Garth Duffy and Josh Rimmer see out the second row. Son of Mark and Ferby man get the third row together. Seymour Titty and the old straight man Joseph Parkinson get the fourth. Christian with no last name doesn't need it in there as well as Chicholina, I'm pretty sure. And Bradley Cairns fifth. Oliver and the old arsehole himself in Orna come through. Munro and Chambers share the seventh. Then it's Justice, Marshall, Dean Wright, Sabdaritas, Payrach, Bennett, British Pig, Williams, Rogers, Douglas. Round out the top 24, and finishing out the whole grid is Clark Sykes, Price, DeBetter, and the old magician has entered the chat very, very late, Chris O. The grid is forming up here. Oh, it's 60 minutes of hardcore racing coming your way.
Yeah, I think Benny Mead just might be in here spectating for that. I don't think we saw him out there in qualifying. I saw his name on there, but certainly not taking part in tonight's proceedings. David Marshall in the chat says the dog might get another early walk tonight. Oh, the threats of his own son walking out on the rest of the broadcast has already begun. So Kobe Marshall under more pressure there from the old boy. Says, you know what, he's not satisfied with anything but first position. So let's cull the music, ladies and gentlemen, because it's time to get serious now. The race one. It's 60 minutes long here tonight. 70% fuel, so we will expect to see a pit stop at some point during the race. Whether they will take 1 tyre, 2 tyres, 3 tyres or more will all come down to who has done the sums in the meantime. Speaking of which, Dan Smith yet to join the grid. He's going to have to hurry up and get that job done fairly soon, because we're about to go green here, ladies and gentlemen, and still no one to be seen here from the pole sitter. So, the lights are up. He's going to miss out here, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Smith, a big admission here from the start of the race, but it's going to be Ryan Hunter who takes over control. There's Matt Munro's gone early, and he's just parked it right on the side of the road. Absolute scenes here at the start of the Benz race here, and Matt Webber is going to be challenged here early by Josh Rimmer, but Webber sticking to the inside. He's going to actually challenge Duffy up the inside. Very tight there indeed, and Rimmer goes around him on the outside. He's he's going to have the inside for turns 2, but it'll be Webber up the inside for 3. Almost a little bit of contact there between the Corvette and the Mustang. Big slide there from Webber, and he's off into the infield. He will go straight down to the back of the field. Now it's Ferber's time to attack, and he gets Seymour there on the inside of turn 5 as they go into the braking zone big time here, and Seymour under the pump because he's got Parkinson behind him here, giving him the hurry up as well. In the meantime, Hunter's kicked clear by about a second to Garth Duffy. Rimmer sits there in third, just eating that chocolate starfish. It's a delicious little treat if you're into that kind of thing. Dave Oliver now under pressure big time from Effin Chambers. No, it's Christian Cicciolino under pressure by Dave Oliver, should I say, there in the Mustang. Great start from everyone. Back here, it's Bradley Cairns, who's dropped down a position as well in the Lonely Lambo. But back here, it's very feisty indeed between a Porsche here of Wright. Payratch is there as well with Sabdoritas chiming in. There's contact between the two Porsches, and around he goes. Darren Justice has been served the gavel, and he will serve a 2 to 3, a 5 to 6 position penalty here on his own accord. Unlucky for him, but he got turned around, and he will join Marshall, Munro, Douglas, and beyond at the back here. Matt Webber chimed in as well. That is some ugly stuff there at the top of the tree, though. Hunter rounds out the first lap in the lead by a fair margin too, with Duffy and Rimmer behind.
It's happened already. The old G&D's got mixed up. Biggest story of the night is the old Kobe Marshall had another VR issue and is starting from dead last as well. But the biggest crash we saw there was between 4 or 5 drivers in the back of the field, and Son of Mark has had an absolute mare to start this one. Turned himself around at the exit of turn 2, and now he's fighting through. Here comes Dan Smith, who has also injected himself back into this one. Maybe another strategical masterclass coming our way, like we saw last week at Magello from Dan Smith. Just the old rooster charts are off the top, ladies and gentlemen. They're just bursting at the seams. Oh,
another one.
And there goes poor old, I think that was I think that was Bennett. I'm pretty sure it was, who just turned himself around there. Unfortunately, the better's there. That was, no, it wasn't Josh Bennett. It would have been one of Kyle Douglas, I reckon it was too. But
yeah,
unfortunately for him, he's turned himself around, and the rest of the race goes on. This is the Beer Man in second place, and I'll tell you what, Hunter is just absolutely gapping the field. It's now out to nearly a second there between these two guys, and he's under all sorts of pressure as the Beer Man. We've got Rimmer right behind him, Ferber looking for a good old move as well, and they're all within about 2 or 3 tenths of each other here. We're rounding the second half of this Bend International Circuit, and they're loving life. Look at the action there between the two cars. You got a Mustang, Corvette, and a BMW, all in the top 3, 1, 2, and 3 line astern, and that is a good run there from Rimmer. He had a beautiful exit there. Just put the power down early on the Mustang, and now the Corvette straight up the inside. He's going to get this job done. This is P2, surely all sealed, done, delivered, gone, signed for, and it is. There's Duffy, who has to absolutely settle for third place now. He's got a little bit of something to think about, though, in the rear vision mirror, because that Ford Mustang in the old green-eyed monster liveried Espera-inspired car is 100% harming him down, and that is Ryan J. Ferber here, 2 tenths of a second, and he's going for it here too. It's 3 cars within 2 tenths of a second of each other. Line is turned down the front straightaway. No one blinks first. It's still Rimmer in second place, now 1.7 seconds away from a lead from Hunter.
Yeah, I thought Duffy might have been close enough there to have a little bit of a dip, but he chooses just to sit in the slipstream for now. He's in a very tight sandwich with Ferber, giving him the hurry up too. You can see how close those two guys are on screen at the moment. It might even be Ferber's turn to just have a little show of the nose. He does down and has a little dive into turn 6, outbrakes himself, and the switchback's on. There goes Duffy, and all the hard work undone, but hasn't lost any positions. But I'll tell you what, Seymour's not too far away, and if he keeps doing that kind of thing, he will be certainly kept honest by the young man behind him. Down here, it's Dan Smith on the back of Dean Wright as well, so he is clawing his way through the field as well. Meant to start on pole, did not show up for the start of the race, had to start from the pit lane, so he's started from the pits. He's already up 14 positions. Beautiful driving there from him. We'll see how far he can get up through the field in this one, but he has got the championship lead at the moment. So he's the guy sitting second, Ferber, is up there in 4th position as well, with a couple of new guys to the series sitting in P1 and 2. So keep an eye on all these guys for the rest of this race. Let's go up to see how the jockey's going in. D. Oliver, he's got Bradley Cairns just about 3/10 off him here, and he's looking pretty racy today, Zach O'Reilly. We've seen shades of brilliance out of the Cairns garage, and I think today might be his lucky day.
Yeah, I hope so, because at the moment he's got all eyes forward on the butthole right in front of him. That is Brent Ortner as well. But Cairns has got a great run here in the Lone Lamborghini. He's now got a good opportunity here to just get in that slipstream, and that Mustang is punching a big hole in the air. He's gone probably just a little bit too early there out of the slipstream. For the next time around, if he's that close, Bradley, just stick in it and just dive down the inside, mate. You'll get a job done. But it's now on here because Chambers is all sort of pressing the issue, because Dan Smith has got in front of him. And also right as well. He's up to 11th place is Dan Smith. Now Chambers just has to sit behind Dan Smith and educate himself on how to go racing around this circuit, because the old effing Chambers here at the moment was on fire back at Circuit de Catalunya, and he's just not shown up for the next one. This is an opportunity for him to do so. What can Dean Wright do as well, and the man behind him in the old Greek god Savdoridis, because he is now a man who is fighting with a 3-car Porsche train in front of him, and he's got to get further up the field. Can, though, at the moment, though, sticking on the back of the jockey here, just going for the old 600-metre dash, I would reckon, in the Melbourne Cup here, and just getting the old pace setter done. He's nosing in nicely there. At the other side he comes, and that lonely Lamborghini there, don't you worry about it, ladies and gentlemen. That thing is not going to be too lonely at the end of this season. I have a feeling one of us here in the commentary box is going to take the reins on one Lamborghini and go for it.
Oh, I'd love to. Absolutely. I'll have to fork out the cash and buy it. I reckon it's just too lonely out there on the circuit. Up the front here, Duffy is just getting closed in here a little bit by Ferber, little bit by little bit, after we saw that dive into turn 6. Just didn't quite pay off for Ferber on the last time around. So he'll be counting his chickens and getting his ducks in a row and all the poultry that you can imagine to maybe launch another attack at the Duff man. But I reckon Duff's ready for it this time. In the chat, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Munro has chimed in, and he said he missed the start. He was too keen to go, and he said he thought the light went green, not paying attention. Perhaps too much green before the start of the race for that one, young man. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. It can affect the memory and the eyesight. But here we go. It's Ferber. Quick again through 5. He's going to have another go where he did last lap. Duffy gives him plenty of room on the entry. But this time, Ferber not quite close enough to have an attack.
Yeah, it was a good little feign of indignation there from Ryan J. Ferber on Guy Duffy. But don't worry, Garth Duffy, I'm speaking correctly tonight, but the man who's got the straights here at the moment, Parko, 100% got the old CBD and THC into the veins, because he's steering this thing beautifully in the other BMW. Right on the back here of the old topless bikini, and racing pretty good. It's under 0.3 of a second thereabouts. It's BMW versus Ferrari in 6th and 5th place respectively. And these guys here are going to absolutely go for a bit of a defence here. Are they going to let this man go through? We saw it happen last round. I don't think Bradley Cairns here is going to be too shy about it. I think he'll just try to battle him out and keep that man behind him, because he's got 3 or 4 cars in front of him. Right now, he can take advantage of any position tussling coming his way. Now, Cairns versus Cicciolina versus Oliver versus the old rim hole in Ortner. And now it's Dan Smith chiming in on the back of this one. Is Dan Smith going to take the old inside line and just send it full beans up the clacker of these guys, or is he just going to go for it and just wait his time to see if these boyos can absolutely contact themselves out of a battle that we're seeing here? And it's just starting to brew, ladies and gentlemen. It's starting to get a bit spicy. Dan Smith got a good exit there on Bradley Cairns, though. This could be all over Goodnight Irene style here for Dan Smith versus Cairns, because it's looking like a little bit of a slipstream here. Is Dan going to go for the jump? No, he's not. He's too far away here into the braking zone. In fact, he does go half for looking up from the chopper cam, and Cairns has seen him coming from a mile away there and just let him go past. He'll still half fighting, but it's all over. See you later. Dan Smith from dead last in 9 minutes of racing, already ploughed through 2/3 of the field. And that is how quick this man is. And Hunter will be starting to sweat a little bit here, Chris, watching his timing tower.
Yeah, that's right. We saw in qualifying that he was pretty much evenly matched there, but just couldn't overcome Dan Smith at the very death there. So there wasn't much between them in terms of pace in the qualifying trim. But we'll see what they can do when it comes down to the race trim. When you've got a fair bit of fuel on board and the tyres start to go, it's a different story indeed. So we'll see what happens to Dan Smith on the way up, and it'll be a really interesting fight when he does, or if he does, get to the front of this field. Speaking of the which, there is a battle on here for P3, and it's Ferber goes up the inside there at turn 12, and that's a beautiful run for him, and he's consolidated that one. Duffy just getting on the brakes, and Ferber just parking it on the apex there as well. There's nowhere through for you, my good son. So he just goes back to P4. Ferber takes over P3, and now he can just look up and maybe start to eke out a bit of that advantage that the chocolate starfish has on him here. It's 2 or 3.5 seconds up the road to the rim job, and he is in turn about 1.5 seconds behind the lead of this race. Alex Seymour, though, he's the dark horse tonight. He's got a fair bit of pace, and he's been able to keep up with this top crew here as well. So just getting dragged along here the straights by the Mustang, and that Ferrari got plenty of pace. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, he's doing a good job here as the old Toppers Bikini, doing a nice little tussle here for the opening stanza here. We've got 50 or 49 minutes left of racing. Coming your way, ladies and gentlemen. And there's plenty of time here for this man to just stick on the back here. And if he knows he's got the pace, he can just manage his tyres and manage his fuel load a little bit. 70%, Chris O said at the start of this one, ladies and gentlemen, of a tank is the full capacity, which means if they had 100 litres, they've only got 70 left to go. And that is a full tank for them. So the pit stops are going to come in hard and fast here, Tony Gregg style. And who's going to blink first? Are we going to see one pit? Are we going to see maybe a 3-tyre change? Are we going to see anything like that? We'll find out. This man, the man who got podium position in the Bathurst 450, has just sent it up the inside there as Jefferino and sent it straight into 20th place. Beautiful stuff on the British Pig. Just forced the issue there in that C8 Corvette. Thought about, might do it, might not, might do it. Yes, he got the job done out the other side, and he's just powering onwards is Jeffrey, a man who's got a voice very similar to Gray Ward, a couple of octaves higher there, Chris O.
Is that
but
right?
I'll tell you what, yeah, absolutely. And he's 100% up there. This man is an orator of the liquid form as well. But Luke Williams here is doing a great job defending here from Brock Clark, who's also coming at him at a rate of knots. At the moment, there's a big contact session in front there. That was Rogers and Savdoritis who got together. We're going to have to check a replay of that, of how that came together, because the erection has just gone full hard there and just cock slapped him on the face and said, "Get out of the way, Greek man. I'm coming through, and you're the worst man out of it." Savdoritis goes into turn, I think that's 13 there. Oh, too wide there. And here comes Rogers around the outside of the BMW. Not shy of a little switchback manoeuvre, and slap-o just punts arenaed him out the other side. And thought about redressing it. Did for 1 microsecond, but saw those cars coming behind him and said, "Oh, bugger that, mate. I'm out of the way, and you can suck eggs. I'm going to skip off into the distance." Yeah,
that's generally how it happens here, ladies and gentlemen. Just leave it up to the stewards. I tell you what, have at it. Have a little tickle in the rear end, and away you go. Let the stewards decide that afterwards. No redressing here, folks. It's just mano e mano. But who have we got here? Jake DeBetta actually doing a great job here tonight. He's up 13 positions, ladies and gentlemen, and that is more than anyone, apart from Dan Smith, who started at the very back. He is absolutely killing it tonight there in that beautiful snake skin-coloured Mustang or whatever is going on there, the Dragon, or whatever that is. It's an interesting livery indeed. But DeBetta just doing his best out there.
Is it a Cobra? I think he's trying to emulate there, the snake scales or something, the old scale.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a mouth. Yeah, it's got some teeth there as well. It's all happening.
If I know. Yeah. Bugger if I know. But I have a petition. I reckon he should just run a better electrical livery. That's what that bloke needs to do, for Christ's sake, because he does do a good job when he's on song, this man, and we tell him to do better each time. When he does, he absolutely gets praises, and when he does shithouse, he gets an equal pasting back from us here in the commentary, mostly from me in the commentary box. But geez, he's doing well tonight. Top 15, up 13 places now. He's got plenty of time here to reel in Clark Williams, Wright, and Oliver too. But it is Jeffrey Price now on the back end here of Bennett. So Bennett now at the moment is just starting to look in his mirrors, because here comes Jeffrey. He's starting to plough his way through the field, up 7 places from where he started this race, and just doing a great job. That C8 Corvette is looking very planted. Look at him nose it in there on the final corner of the track and just yeet it out the other side here. And he's going to have a hell of a run down the front straightaway here. There is nothing that the man in front of him, Bennett, can do, because that slipstream is now under 2/10 of a second. But it looks like he's got a bit of rear wing on actually here, this Jeffrey, because he could not get past that Porsche punching a big hole in the air in front of him into turn one. On board with him now. Watch his steering inputs there on the left-hand side of your screen. Smooth, calm, cool, collected stuff here from Jeffrey. Just rhythm, flow, Roger Federer-esque backhand style here. And he's just got it out the other side beautifully. There has the price man. He's going for it. Good stuff indeed. And this is the closest battle on the track, ladies and gentlemen, for 20th place here at the moment. The rest of them have sort of skipped out to about at least a 1 or 2 second advantage on average between each other. Can Jeffrey put on a show here? You're on screen, mate. You've got to get yourself up there, for Christ's sakes. Tassie Devil style there. I think that's what he's got. No. What has he got on the side of his car there? That looks like it is a Looney Tunes. Is it Samsonite Sam there? I think it is for him too. That would probably explain the voice there as well, Chriso. I'm not too sure. Can't really see from this angle.
Yeah, hard to get a clock on that. Let me see. Oh, geez. Yeah, or is it the Tassie Devil? Hard to see, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, don't have me. There's someone off the field there. That's Brock Clark in the Ferrari, the plain old Ferrari too. He's going to have to drive that car home after the race event, so you don't want to be putting too many scratches on that bad boy, because he's got to strap the old number plates on and get himself home afterwards. Up here though, the battle's on. It's Oliver around the outside of effing Chambers and gets that job done. Thank you very much, sir. I think Chambers might have got a slowdown penalty there as well, because that just looked way too easy for the jockey to jump on the old might and power, and away he goes through the inside and gets that job done. Now back here, it's Price on the back of Bennett, this time much closer than he was last time around. He's still, you can see there, just not even able to keep up with the Porsche down the back straight. Even though he's in the slipstream, he's going to have a dip anyway. Down into turn one, the door was shut on him very late. Geez, that is some dangerous stuff there from the Porsche. I don't know if you saw him coming, but there goes Price, just fires it up the inside of turn three. Now they go side by side up through the next part. It's going to be a left-hand kink, so advantage Porsche as they go through here, through turn five, neck and neck here now, through into the braking zone, and Jeff Price has his nose just in front, but the superior braking of the Porsche lets him go through, but that's very deep there, and Bennett will give up the position. Price gets 18th, and I'll tell you what, that's a beautiful little battle there. You would, if you took the numbers away from the timing tower, you could have been mistaken that was a move for a podium spot.
Yeah, it was. That was a great little switchback opportunity. Jeffrey saw that coming and thought, you know what, I'm going to outsmart you there, big old Bennett, and he did so beautifully. Textbook, in fact, in the moving department there from that big man. Great stuff indeed, and he promotes himself up into 18th. This battle here, though, by the old Gavril thrower Justice, handing out law usually in this series, but tonight in the Porsche, not doing so. He's down from where is he? 15th on the grid into a 21st place is Darren Justice here. The lawyer is not on a winning streak here at the moment. He's been the defendant, and the judge has overthrown him so many times here. He's not happy, but he can just sort of sit behind the British pig here and just educate himself a little bit more. Hopefully that AMG in front of him is punching a big hole in the air down the front straightaway, and it looks like he's got a good run there now. It's just teetering on that 0.5 of a second. Nail this final turn, son, and you'll get a good run. He hasn't indeed, and that's just stretched out to 0.7 of a second. But the better now is on the back end of Luke Williams. This is a good little tussle between the old Porsche and Mustang. It's now the Snake versus the old Ghost in front, and Luke Williams here at the moment, he's doing a good job, but he's run it a little bit wide. The better we'll see that happening, and just think about the next lap that he can go for a bit of a move. It's 0.3 of a second, ever decreasing. It's nearly going to be under 0.2 by the time they get through here. That Mustang is just a rocket ship in a straight line here if he's got the wing off. And look at the better go. He's hounding, and they're fighting each other line astern into the beautiful turn 5 section. Out the other side they go. Now it's still advantage here for Williams in front. The better now just has to bide his time, because it's a triple right-hander coming your way down the hill. My favourite part of the bend section right here. It's so satisfying when you get this part of the track right. I can give you the hot tip. In a GT3, it's goddamn easy though, but in a Gen 3 Mustang, holy cow, it's a challenge. Once you seal that deal, it is beautiful. And look at the better go now. He just needs to put the foot down and get right up close. Uses all the outside open and a bit more bunda here. This is cracking little driver's eye point view. Just touches the back end there, or nearabouts there, on the big Porsche in front of him. Luke Williams gone for the old switcherino, and Luke Williams has just given up the ghost. It's going to be around the outside trailer park girl style there. Can't get the job done. The better is just fatal in the ABS department, but he'll go back on the throttle here and just power out the other side of the chicane here. Good stuff. Good little tussle here by these two as well. Again, Take away that timing tower. This looks like it's a race for P1. They're going for it, hammer and tong, and it's just a racer who knows where to put the car in the defence department. The other guy's just got pure pace, but he's got no answers for him. Into the final turn of the bend we go. Is the Mustang going to get a good exit? He does. In fact, now it's just about breaking the toe here for Williams. I don't think he's going to get that job done, however. You can see that Mustang just ever increasing onto the back bumper of that Porsche. Feints to the outside there, goes Williams, but the better's got the chock. He's done into turn one. Beautiful overtaking manoeuvre. Can he get the thing pulled up, though? Is Williams going to go for the switchback? He does half think about it, goes around the outside again, into turn 2 and 3 we go. Williams back up the inside of the better. This is cracking little battling here between the two of these guys, but Sadarides and Rogers are coming at a rate of knots, so they've got to get this job done and sorted now, else they're going to be in a four-way tussle before they know it.
Yeah, that's right. Here he goes, still under pressure. Is Williams, goes half defensive into turn 6, but Tabetta tries to hang it fat around the outside, looking for that late apex to try and get around him, but I don't know if there's much opportunity up until we get to that uphill right-hander to be able to make an overtake through this downhill little whoop-de-doo set of right-handers as they go around, and this part of the circuit's so much fun when you're by yourself, but when you're locked in the heat of battle, you can hardly see where the apexes are coming up, so you're just basically running blind through there. Tabetta, though, gets a really nice exit, and he might just, he does show the nose up here into, I think this is turn 12. He goes up there now, side by side. Williams gives him enough room, a little bit of a love tap as well. Now Williams has the inside run, and Tabetta sends it in very deep, but look who is joining the party here. It's Savdarides Rogers as well. They go 2 by 2 as the elephants march onto the old Noah's Ark here style. It's beautiful stuff, and Luke Williams is just doing the best job of defending here at the point of knot, and he's just waiting for the cavalry to turn up. At this time it might be too much because Tabetta has the inside run here for the final turn. Williams will have the momentum down the front straight. More contact as well. Trading paint like they're Pokemon cards here at the moment, and they've been able to gap Savdarides. Orton has joined into the crew as well at the back there. Here comes Tabetta, has the inside run for turn 1. This happened last lap, ladies and gentlemen, but Williams managed to get the switchback, and it's absolutely a carbon copy of what happened the lap previous, Zach O'Reilly. You can take over from here.
This is unbelievable stuff. Look at them go, the two of them. I think poor old Tabetta's got the better run there, and he does. He's got the old Trading Paints livery out there and said, you know what, I'm going to reset that vinyl wrap on the car and take P13 off you. Williams tries to go attacking, but he can't get the job done. In fact, he's faked old Tabetta into an outside run, but he can't get the overlap back. And finally, they've been released of each other. That was great calling there, Chriso, by the way. And it's still on here in the background because Savdarides now is hounding the back here of the ring hole. We got asked in the question from the old second Ortner. I think it's the brother in there, 22 Ortner, asking what happened to him. He just fell off the grid there. We'll have to find a replay for that. But he's fighting now over 16th and 17th place if we possibly can. This is what happened to him. Oh, he got turned around there. Oh, my goodness me. Whoop-de-doo. See you later. And that is not the way to go about it, ladies and gentlemen. The stewards are going to have a field day with that one for sure. But that is wide there from Rogers in the foreground, who's also got past Williams too. Williams has copped the black flag as well. I'm assuming that's for track limits and incidents as well because he's been smashing each other's doors off the bloody track there as well. He's going to have to go through, but Rogers will see that and just think, mate, don't even bother fighting me here. I'm going to stick it defensive here in that BMW and go back up the inside. Here comes Savdarides versus Bennett there as well going for it. These 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 million cars here all fighting over. Look at Rogers just trying to defend. There goes Williams going for the old late braking maneuver there. Is he going to come into the pits? He does there. And now it's going to be on here because we have got Ortner, Savdarides and Bennett. 3 Porsches line astern here, all fighting over P14 and 15 as well. This is good stuff there. Rogers has skipped away in the Porsche. Here comes Savdarides on the ring hole. Is he going to go for it up the inside? He does. This is good stuff. Nearly collision there between the 3 of them. Goodness me, the snap-on livery's come out the other side, the better of it in Ortner. And here comes Savdarides on Bennett too. He's just gone for the inside line. Who's going to get the better run out of that corner? It is Bennett, and losing out there, sorry, was Bennett. And Savdarides and Ortner just skip away down the field. Boy, oh boy, that was hairy stuff there in the old Gorilla Silverback department there, Chris O.
Yeah, all 3 Porsches just coming together there as well. Beautiful stuff and hard racing, to be fair. Poor old, who was it there? Luke Williams coming in to serve his penalty as well, right in the thick of it too. And Ash Rogers just getting around them at the point of not. Oh, there's a big mistake there from Savdarides, and that will drop him back behind Bennett this time. And by a fair margin, so a fair bit of work to be done there from the Greek god to get himself back up onto the back of the others there. Up the front, it's getting closer between Seymour and the rim job there. Has he made a pit stop, perhaps, ladies and gentlemen? Let's have a quick look. No one has. Apart from Dan Smith, he's made his. And he's not too far off the pack either. So it'll be interesting once the rest of them all come in. It'll be interesting to see what happened to Rimmer here as well. Actually, I've got the replay on hand. Coming up through, I think that is turn 12. He's just gone off track. Is that all?
That was it.
That was it. Yeah, these guys don't make many mistakes, do they?
No, they do not, Chris. I'm just wondering, though, on that pit stop point, there's the number one pit stop on Dan Smith's car. Count the pit exit that he started in.
Yes, that possibly will.
I think it will, based on where he is on the track, just ploughing through the field. Only 7/10 away, though, is Dan Smith from Parkinson, but this battle's closer here between Rimmer and Seymour. Rimmer had a moment, as we saw, but he's gathered his thoughts and collectively gone for it again in that C8 Corvette. Gee, he looks planted through that triple right-hander there. Good stuff. And now Seymour is sort of starting to feel the pressure point and the pinch coming his way. It's creeping up from the weenus on the elbow department and up into the old forearm department here now for Seymour, because Rimmer is just starting to think about how we can go about it. And that is a perfect opportunity. No, just too wide onto the bunda there on the outside. This is good. Very, very close stuff indeed. We'll have a keep a look on the back end here of Seymour's car to see how these two drivers navigate this bend circuit. And you can see there, if you get the V line out of that chicane, it is at advantage. And it's only by half a car length, but it gives enough threat to the car in front to think about where they're going to plant their car for the final two turns here. And that's exactly what's happened, because Seymour had a mare out of the second last corner. Now it's all up here to Rimmer to get the perfect line out of that final turn onto the front straightaway and get a hole punched in the air in front of him from that Ferrari. It's now C8 Corvette versus Ferrari, and this is good racing here between the two of them. It's closing in. It's 1.5 tenths of a second now. Here goes rim job. Is he going to go up the inside and give him a good old lick around the old Ortner, and straight up the inside he goes. Beautiful stuff there from the rim job. Now it's Parkinson's turn to chime in on to Seymour as well. Is he going to get that job done in the old topless bikini department and just strip it off? No. It's Rimmer still out in front. Seymour fifth now, and it's a bit of a gaggle of cars because one Dan Smith is now chiming himself back into this little battle pack that's coming through. How long, Chriso, until this man can get past these guys and just settle onto a lead, which, mind you, Chriso, is only about 14 seconds away at the moment, and we're only 27 and a half minutes into this race.
I would not be half surprised if Dan Smith pulls it into the pits at the end of this lap, because he's got three speedy customers in front of him that are going to make him work for this position. But it's almost half race distance. If he comes in now, puts some fuel in, chucks 3 tyres on, or whatever sort of wizardry he's got planned up his sleeve, he can come out possibly in that mid-pack area where there's a nice big gap where he can find some clear air and just start setting purple sectors and gap all these 3 guys whilst they scrap in front. Seymour and Parko there almost coming together. And I think, Dan Smith, if you're listening, Jesus Christ, if I was your engineer, I'd be saying, mate, come into the pits here, because you're only going to hurt your own lap times here at the moment. Diving up the inside of Seymour, he goes for it here. This is nice moves there from the championship leader. He's made up one position now, 2 to go to get clear of this little battle pack, but I think he's going to persist on. Here he goes. He's chancing his arm. He's got the BMW of Parkinson in his sights here as well. Hunter is checked out. He's 7.9 seconds in front of this little crew here as well, but Dan Smith coming Peter North style all over the back of these guys.
Yeah, I was going to say what's his name? Big Ron Jeremy style at the moment.
The Girth Master.
The old Girth Master coming your way, ladies and gentlemen. Here on Late Night TV, sensational TV style with Ray Rabs Warren. But in terms of that, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this guy does need to do exactly what Chriso said, because unless he gets his job done around the outside, no, that right there is 4 or 5 tenths of a second that's hurt him. He's given up about a second now already out of his chance to get a job done over maybe Ferber, maybe Rimmer for P3 in the pit stop department, because right now he's just getting held up big time here by Joseph Parkinson. I can tell you right now, Dan Smith needs to come in, needs to take that pit stop, take those 3 tyres that he always says he does, and go for it, because we're dead on halfway through this race. He knows how the car feels. He knows where the tyre deg is. He knows where the fuel is as well. So he's got a familiarity with that C8 Corvette. And if he can just get some clear air with this scenario that he's in, because if you look at the track map, right on the top right hand of your screen there is a big gap between himself right now and at least 10th place that he can come in and maybe sort himself straight back out into it and get some clean air racing as well. He's showing the nose there. Doesn't think about that. I reckon here that Parko is just going to hold him up for as long as he can here, just to hurt Dan Smith's chances of maybe getting a P3 at least here in this race, unless Smitho comes into the pits right now and serves it. He doesn't. He goes on again, Daft Punk style, and he's just hurting himself lap after lap here to maybe get that P1 position.
Yeah, that's right. It always pays, ladies and gentlemen, to have the sensational stream going in the background. If you're one of the drivers, have that out there, because you got the two super coaches here in the box just feeding out race info here to all the guys. Might be useful to some. Some people probably think they know better, but that's the way it goes here in the sim world. You've got to be a driver, you've got to be a race engineer, you've got to do all that stuff, all while trying to make overtakes and defend from there's some feisty customers out there as well. So. Well, certainly got their hands full. And look, there's a couple of guys coming into the pit now. D. Oliver, Chris Savdoridis as well, both serving their pit stop. We're at the very halfway point of this race, so it's not out of the realms of possibility for that to be a thing. So, yeah, the longest Smith is parked himself back here behind Mr. Parkinson. He's just hurting his lap times, but he knows better, folks. He knows how to get that thing around. Warren Baker. Welcome to the chat, mate. Says, where's Rudy? Where's Rudy? Rudy who?
Rudy who? Rudy Kurtzen, the old umpire from cricket.
Yeah, the corrupt bloody... Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was match fixing as well, wasn't he, Rudy Kurtzen?
Yeah, he was doing a white version of Hansi Cronje, I think he was. Yeah, the old Rudy Kurtzen. I don't know where he is, but nonetheless, he's probably in jail somewhere at the moment, watching on here on Sensational TV. One of our 4 million viewers watching right now. But Dan Smith, you can see the last lap that he did. Was a 146 dead. His best is a 143.5. So there's 7/10 already gone, and he comes in.
Listening finally, to the boys.
Listens to the stream here, ladies and gentlemen. Just thinks about what his scenario is and says, you know what, sensational boys in the box. You guys are goddamn right. I wish I got some coaching off you, and I'll be way quicker. But Ryan Hunter now.
About 2 laps too late, mind you.
Well, you know
the damage is done.
The damage is done. The arrogance has come to, and he just has to suck up his pride there to Dan Smith. But nonetheless, this man right now can see that on his screen, one Dan Smith, his main competitor, has come into the pits, and it's 32.5 minutes and change gone in this race. It is now time for this man to get into the lead. But look at this man go. Bradley Cairns, absolutely sensational move. And there goes a huge Mitchell Sykes. I think, no, it wasn't. Goodness me, I've lost the plot. It's Dave Oliver into the fence, and that is a written-off Mustang. There is no drive shaft left in the back of that thing, I can guarantee you. He's sitting there like a stunned duck here at the moment. Let's see what happened to him. It was just the old put the throttle down, onto the curb, and look out, whooshka. There goes the tank slapper there, and see you later. Good night, Irene. Hit the showers early, mate, with the talcum powder, and settle back in, because you are dead set last. That car is going nowhere, ladies and gentlemen, and I wish, for God's sake, there was a safety car, because that would bunch this field right up here, right into Dan Smith's hands. Here's Ryan Hunter going to get him to the pits. Here's Jeffrey Priso here. He's going to take P18 off the big man in front of him, Brock Clark. But I'm not too sure, because he's racing like a man possessed at the moment, is Jeffrey Price. He had 8 seconds to get to this man on the screen in front of him in the old sponsorless liveried car. And he has found it, and he's on fire here tonight. He's Jeffrey Price. I tell you what, come on down, Jeffrey Price.
That's right. He's got the showcase to go, and here he goes. Has a little showing the nose moment there on the Ferrari. Brock Clark unfazed by the threats there of the C8 Corvette behind. Now very much underneath the rear wing through turn 3, but you can see the acceleration of the Ferrari really nice there. Out of turn 3, no threat here through the left-hand kink down into the braking zone, and the Ferrari is still in control of this one. Brock Clark doing a great job. well, that's something happened to Brenton Ortner here. I see a bit of smoke and debris on the circuit. What's happened? Let's go back and have a quick squiz at the replay and see what's happened here. Ortner's night just going from bad to worse here. Just just lost it. Not enough downforce there on the rear. The old inertia snap, which is quite common in the Porsches. A lot of weight back there beyond the rear axle, and that's all she wrote. But back down to this battle here between the Corvette and the Ferrari. Price v Clark, and into the final turn. It's Clark just has the advantage. Price pushing him all the way through. It's not the final turn. It's actually down there in, I believe, turn 12. I've got to get my corner numbers up. But there they go through, and Brock Clark just hanging on by the skin of his teeth here at the moment. Jeffrey Price giving him the hurry up all the way around this circuit.
Giving him the curry as well. Look at him go around the outside here. He's going to try and just feign poor old big man in front of him, Clark, into a rubber situation here and just flex the muscles outside. That was good driving there from Clark. He just Fernando Alonso, Jeffrey, on the apex there and just put the brakes on. Just feigned old Priso out of a bit of a move, and that it's gapped him down the front straightaway here. It's decreasing, ladies and gentlemen. It's only by the thousandths of a second, though. It's 3/10 now. It's under 3/10. 2.5 will be by the time they get to the braking zone here and into it one more time. These two battle on here, ladies and gentlemen. Garth Duffy has come into the pits to serve his pit stop now at the 35-minute and 47. And there goes Jeffrey Price.
Oh, no.
As I was looking at the timing tower, the man has rotated himself around there finger style, and not the place to be for him. There's Savdoridis has got a long way to catch up to him, but Priso versus Clark battle has been negated by the right foot of Jeffrey. He just got the old red mist in the cockpit there. He thought about it. Look at that thing. Just go and rotate on him. See you later, alligator. Boy, oh boy, that's uncharacteristic there. Those tyres must have been as hot as a dodgy Vindaloo. Ryan Ferber missed him by a millimetre. And Priso just licking his wounds again, but he'll be happy. A top 20 here from 27th place is still a good place to be, mind you. But this man here, the erection, up 14 spots, ladies and gentlemen, is Ash Rogers. And he is full blue pilling it here tonight. Don't you worry about red, black, anything like that. The old Viagra tablet is hounding us. And we are always, as always, getting a one-finger wave there from the big man as he crosses around the bend circuit out of turn 3 into turn 4. He goes, Chriso. When is Hunter going to come into the pits is the biggest question.
I think he's going to go long. He's got the luxury of being out in front by, 11 and a half seconds, so he can just keep pushing that, watching the delta of the guys behind him as well. And I suppose once it gets into that realm of the guys on the new tyres just really starting to, make a comeback on the lap times department, then he can just come in, serve his pit stop, get some 3 new tyres or whatever the wizardry is, and come back out and start hitting those lap times. So Ryan Hunter in full control of this race, and because of that, he can really just pick and choose when he comes into the pit lane. So probably going long, and why wouldn't you? There's no reason to come in now. He's got it all his own way and stretching that lead as well, mind you. That's another half a second he's put on Ryan Ferber in just the time that I've been speaking. And poor old Dan Smith down here in 9th position. Tell you what, if he came into the pits 2 laps earlier, I reckon he would have been up another 3 positions here. But that is one for the hindsight detectives out there. 2020 vision in hindsight, ladies and gentlemen. But
Always.
Yeah, always that sort of thing. Who have we got to look at? Darren Justice coming into the pit lane as well now. Let's have a look actually between these two guys at the front, Ryan Hunter and Ferber in the laps time. Oh, wow, look at that. Over a second faster in the last 3 times around there for Hunter. So absolutely flying is the big man out in front. He's got all 4 crosshairs absolutely fired up and just turning the screws. I've got one allowance there tonight, and I'm going to say it now.
I was going to say, what is the comparison lap time between Hunter and Dan Smith? Because I'll be interested to see what their fastest laps are. 45.3 here is the best for Ryan Hunter, and that is motoring, and he's so consistent. Look at him. He's within 2 or 3 tenths. There is about 3 tenths away each lap.
Yeah,
lap
half a second. Half a second quicker
is Ryan Hunter than Dan Smith from the statistics master in the background, Christopher Munro there. And that is why he is 14 and a half seconds out in front. Ferber's coming to the pits, though. So now he's blinked. He's come out of that one. Seymour scalloped past him down the front straight away there. Ferber serving his pit stop as well. That's Brittingham also in the pits there serving his. Cicciolina here at the moment, up from where he was in 9th place into 6th place. Rogers versus Smith, though. Smitho's just danced around the outside of him here, cha-cha style, and said, thank you very much. Rogers now has not pitted. Smitho has. The pace is starting to increase here. Rogers' best lap is a 47 dead. His last one is a 48-1. So those tyres are starting to sing to the high heavens here. And maybe time to rip the Band-Aid off, put him in the old coffin, Betty White style, rest in peace, and just think about how we can go about it. But this man is just alien-esque, is this guy, from 28th place already up into 8th place and served the pit stop as well 40 minutes into this race. We've got 20 minutes left to go, ladies and gentlemen. It's gone in a blink of an eye here tonight. And this guy here has just come into this series and said, you know what? I'm going to pop myself in a BMW. I know it's probably not the quickest car. It's the quickest under my foot. And I'm just going to send it and hope for the best. And he's done so. 14 and a half seconds now to rim job. And Parko effectively 16 seconds away. And this guy, Ryan Hunter-Crisso, hats off to him so far in this race, barring a disaster. He's looking on track here to take a win on debut here at Aussie Sim Racing.
Yeah, really nice. And shots fired to the rest of the field as well. So thank you very much, he says. Comes in the Beamer. So it's a nice balanced car as well. Not known for its outright blistering speed, but really nice and balanced throughout all conditions. Wet, dry, nighttime, daytime, whatever you want there. The BMW is predictable in all facets of the game. So hats off to him. Hunter doing a fantastic job. Dan Smith has come out behind Ferber only by 7/10 here. You can probably see him there in the left-hand side of your screen. So Dan Smith looking to make a move here on Ferber. Did not get that undercut done. Possibly if he pitted 2 laps earlier, it might have happened. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll keep rehashing the old stuff here, but Smith, his tyres are up to temperature here as well, so he's going to be looking to make the move here. Ferber, half a second in front. We'll see what can happen here. There goes Rogers into the pit lane. Cicciolina and Chambers as well. Both of those guys in the Porsche serving their pit lane excursion. Who's that there in the background? That's Parko. So there you go. So he gets the job done on Parko there. The undercut working this time. Only just, though. I'll tell you what, it's very close between all these guys. So we'll see who else was in that little battle. Rimmer, when he comes into the pit lane, he will probably not be much further in front of this little battle pack either. So interesting times to come here with, what's that, 17 minutes and 47 seconds to go.
Yep, definitely. And it's now time for these boys to blink. It's at that point where those fuel loads will be coming down very, very much so. Chambers there has just got done by Canzo, and he's not having the performance of his night tonight here. He's dominant at Circuit de Catalunya, as was this man as well too. Ryan J. Ferber had a good night there too. Oh, nearly a tank slapper there from the big man, and Dan Smith is pressing him big time. It's only a tenth of a second. Is he going to look for up the inside? No, he doesn't. Oh. Ferber nearly had to feign existence there as well, and just think about it, but he's no risco in that department. Dan Smith will be handing him here right at this time. Has come out of the pits as Ferber as well, so he's got some fresh boots on, hopefully, as well as Dan Smith, who are probably about, 15 minutes old now, for him, 13 minutes, in fact. So it's now the tyre deficit versus the pace department, and who's got the best one? Goodness me, that was close on the rear bumper cam. That was dead set shit the bed moment for Ryan J. Ferber. He was right up there and thinking about how he could go and attack this final corner, and Dan Smith was coming at him like at a rate of knots. Now they're all weaving down the straightaway. Punching O's in the air are these boyos. That is the old British pig in front of the big man Ferber in front. There is Dan Smith we're on board with here, who's also sitting in the slipstream. Won't get this job done in turn 1 though, but the braking advantage this guy has, he's got those things set up there as the British pig, just perfectly out of the way at the right time. Thank goodness for that. Parko's also involving himself into this too. If Ferber becomes a cork in the bottle for Dan Smith, watch out for the straights coming at the back there in that BMW.
Yeah, that's right. Quick as well, because he will be up there in this battle before too long, especially because there's not much time left in this race. So Ferber will be looking eyes towards the championship standings and think, well, if I can keep this Corvette behind me, that's a couple of points in my back pocket going into round 7 next time around. So he'll be throwing the kitchen sink defensively at Dan Smith over the next 15 minutes. Keep your eyes peeled, ladies and gentlemen. There could be fireworks. There could be action. The two guys in front, Hunter and Rimmer, they're in their own race here at the moment. These two guys on screen are not concerned about the activities of the two guys in front. Speaking of which, Hunter has come into the pit lane now. So he's up on the jacks already. He's going to be out well in front of the other two guys once they get around. He might even be close to where Rimmer is. Yeah, look, he's moving already. Hunter has come out, not taken any tyres maybe by the looks of it, but Rimmer not even around the final turn yet. Hunter goes into the pit lane in the lead, comes out of the pit lane in the lead as well. So it's all stitched up here for him. Absolutely beautiful strategy, beautiful pace, and it's all over bar the shouting for Hunter.
Yeah, it is at the moment, unfortunately, but he is there. And don't you worry about that. This man's coming at a rate of knots here at the moment. Dan Smith already climbing over the back of Ferber. It's only 2.5 tenths there too between these guys, and they're fighting once more. Lap after lap, the time keeps decreasing, ladies and gentlemen, between now and the race finish. And now it looks like Dan Smith has got an absolute rip snort of a move. Tried to get Ferber a bit wide, and he's done so. He's actually got him dummied there and faded for a look. He's going to be close enough here as we exit turn 3. Now it's turn 4, the left-hand sweeper. Is the Corvette going to be able to hold on in the dirty air? It does there. Is it going to be a send up the inside here? From there, he's up the inside. He goes. Dan Smith on Ryan J. Ferber. Ferber's going to stick it fat there. They'll nearly trade paint on the exit. Even Stevens on the outside, but Smith has got the overlap there. In fact, it's dead set even right there from the chopper cam. And look at the closing speed and the swatch off there. Just absolutely fly swatted Dan Smith off did Ferber. But now it's hurt him on the double apex. Right-hander coming our way. Ferber survives. Dan Smith trying to fight on for dear life. Parkinson's coming at a rate of knots. Garth Duffy's also involving him in the foreground there too. You can see that car. They're smacking the old witches' hats off the circuit. Everything involved here. Third place at the moment. All up to this bloke. Right now, Ryan J. Ferber, he needs to hold on here for a podium. Dan Smith's pressing. The car gets out of the way there of Ortner, I think that was too. But goodness me, is Dan Smith pressing hard here on Ferber. Cracking racing from these boys. And now they've just got to get themselves settled in. If Dan Smith can get this exit perfectly done, he can set himself up for a beautiful hole-punching air scenario down the front straightaway on Ferber. But it is now a very, very much so a rate of attrition. Can these boys nail each exit? Is it going to be looking through the car in front for Dan Smith? Is Ryan J. Ferber going to focus on that perfect optimal? Oh, no. Smith's back. He just got Taylor there, and Dan Smith is now punching him straight in the rear end. It is now full-on gangbang style here. This is no loop. Dan Smith on the outside, Ferber on the inside. Two doors cars, all absolutely rubbing shoulders into the braking zone. Ferber survived again, that ultimate braking maneuver there from him. But Smith's gone for the switchback. He's going to be on the inside of the circuit into turn 3. They go, and Smitho's got that job done. Ferber's going to try the switchback, but can't get the job done himself. And that is a commanding move there from Dan Smith up into the podium position from dead set last 47.5 minutes into this race, ladies and gentlemen. That's how long it took him, but it is absolutely like a millisecond in the grand scheme of this race. This guy is on fire. Ferber now under all sorts of pressure. There is Parko trying to hound him. Garth Duffy's involved in this one too. If this guy in front here in this green-eyed monster-inspired livery Mustang is a cork in the bottle, he has got some heck of a competition behind him wanting to take that 4th place and hopefully catch the old Dan Smith at the same time, Chriso.
Yeah, I think he'll be just a little bit rattled there from that little battle as well with Smith. But once he gets his head screwed back on properly, but as I say that, the old commentator's curse, he goes well wide there. He's venturing off into the green stuff. It wasn't enough to really get overtaken here by the BMW from behind, but he's going to be vulnerable here. Just doesn't even cover him off. Almost a centre punch in the back there too. Parkinson giving him the hurry-curry here, as we say to speak here in the old Ben Motorsport Park. All sorts of sideways through, and that's going to be the position now. All she wrote, it's just to pick out your braking mark and find that apex, and through goes Parkinson up into P4. Oh no, what's happened there? Was there contact between Duffy and Ferber? We will find out in just a moment here from the chopper cam. Ladies and gentlemen, here goes Parkinson up the inside. Let's see what happens here. I think Ferber just getting a little bit red misty there and feeding the old right foot a bit too hard. And around he goes, ladies and gentlemen, from P3 to P6 in a matter of moments. The dream slipping through the fingers for Ryan Ferber.
His left-hand side tyres were dirtier than a $2 hooker because he was on the grass there for about 100 metres coming into the second last corner at the bend, and that is exactly why he rotated around. See you later. Good night, Irene. Just too much on the old right foot, and that is exactly what happened. To better, though, up 14 places. He started 28th, ladies and gentlemen, and now he's found himself up here in 14th and fighting once again on the back here of Justice. Good racing between these two. 0.3 of a second now is the gap. Second last turn at the bend, and this is the final one now. They're going for it, hammer and tong. This is going to be great stuff from the better if he can optimise his line, exit out of the final corner. It is good stuff there because that is a very, very wide Dan Justice. And look at the man. He's got a good run. It's 0.4. It's climbing down to 0.3 of a second. It's too far away here, but that is going to give a bit of education there to Darren Justice to know that he can keep doing that if the track limits allow him and still be able to defend that P13 place off the hard, fast charging Jake the better in front of him. These boys are now on like Donkey Kong. This is a good little battle here from 13th to 14th. We love to see any battle. It doesn't matter where you are in the field, up and down the racing department here. And look at Ferber now just starting to close in. He's going to half send it here. I have a feeling here, ladies and gentlemen, he does. He goes to the inside. Underneath, he goes straight away. There's a switchback opportunity here for Justice, though, on the better. He does get that job done. Feigns it to the outside there, but here comes the better. He's got the power down and absolutely fanged it around back out the outside there into pins 8, 9 and 10. Cracking racing from the both, and the better gets that 13th place. He fought very, very hard for there. That is probably the old reverse switcherino switchback I've ever seen in my life. Just go deep and then feign the other guy into a bit of a dummy security position and get that job done, Chris. So taking notes here in the commentary box on how to do it.
Yeah, that was beautiful stuff there. I think Justice just getting on the loud pedal just a touch, a fraction too early there as well, looking for that switchback. And just made a meal of it. The front's pushing out through turn 6 and just letting Jake the better right up beside him as well. Tell you what, Warren Baker, busy in the chat there. He says, we need to see more... Oh, he's handing out his own dad jokes here as well.
Goodness me.
We need to see more Justice. Yep, that's a good one. I'll give him 6 out of 10 for that one. Wow, Hunter got Rimmer by a Smith. Most common name in the dictionary. That's a 4 out of 10. Baker, you've got better than that one. Yeah, you can do better than that. Let's hunt a Rimmer. Getting all happening here. He's got the names in. He could be a commentator. He could be a sensational commentator at heart, Zach O'Reilly.
He could be. If he wants to get himself involved, just send your resume through, mate, and we'll be right there with you.
That's right.
But this guy on screen is doing a great job. The better he's gapped old Gavril thrower himself into an 8/10 advantage over him. But this guy, 8 minutes left to go in this 60-minute session. He's just dominating the field as Ryan Hunter here. 18 seconds over Rimmer. And it is something to behold. There is Rimmer now rounding the front straightaway. That is the gap. It is literally a straight plus 2 corners. Is 18, nearly 19 seconds here at the bend. And that is a dominating performance. But Rimmer's done a great job in that C8 Corvette. But he's got 3.1 seconds thereabouts, only between himself and losing that second place here. So scenes to come, ladies and gentlemen, in the dying minutes of this race here at the bend. Is Dan Smith going to be able to catch him? 2 Corvettes, line astern for P2 and 3, and they're going to be trading places here, ladies and gentlemen. I would assume, unless some miracle happens, this is going to be a good one to finish this race. And Ferber, Seymour and Parko are just starting to bunch up a bit more, Chris, for 5th, 6th and 7th.
Yeah, I wonder how often you get that. Two Corvettes and a BMW battling it out for the podium positions in the GT3 class here in iRacing. I'll tell you what, after we've seen seasons of Mustang dominance, it's good to have a breath of fresh air as well with some Corvettes up there in the action and BMW kicking it hard as well. So yeah, good change of scenery too. But Dan Smith, that gap has just gone back out to over 3 seconds. So a little reply there from Rimmer. He saw that the Smith is starting to close in and has turned on the afterburners and said, you know what, mate, I don't have to do this for a couple more laps. And you're going to have to maybe just turn up the pace a little bit more than you have been if you're going to catch me at 3 seconds with just over 6 minutes to go. So that equates to what, about 4 laps maybe. So he's going to have to be, half a second quicker each lap at least to be able to just get onto the back of rim here at the moment. But I tell you what, the time battles can do a lot to a man's mind. And that's what it's all about, the psychological battle, when you can see that there is a car in the background distance just closing in every single turn. A couple of tenths here, a couple of tenths there, maybe half a second over a lap. And that's when it can start to play on your mind, Zach O'Reilly, and a couple of little mistakes, and all of a sudden you've got an absolute battle on your hands.
Oh, yeah, we know about that, Chris. We've shared plenty as well in the past
right.
there. Good 3 years ago, 4 years ago now, nearly, bloody hell. Geez, that time's gone absolutely like no tomorrow. But yeah, that is exactly the scenario we could be on for here. But it is 5 minutes and 15 seconds left in this race to go. Dan Smith is under 3 seconds just now. Don't think he's going to get that job done on Rimmer. He's going to have to settle for third here. But that is a good position for him, because Ferber is 4 positions behind him in the championship right now on the track. Sorry, is what I'm trying to say. He's 4 positions back on the track, but still second in the championship is Ryan J. Ferber. So Dan Smith will now extend his lead over this one. But Rimmer on debut as well, second debut for him, and Hunter doing a very, very nice job. They've kept it clean. They've kept themselves out of incidents all night and just galloped away when they need to be, pick their markers, and it's just whoever was the quickest man on the night is going to win this race. And these two here have shown us exactly where they sit in the potential department. We need to hear this BMW, Chriso. You know what? Bugger it. We've got 4 minutes and a half left to go. Let's just sit here and enjoy what this BMW sounds like for half a lap here at the bend.
Crossing the start-finish line now, Ryan Hunter. Get an idea of how he throws this BMW around the circuit as well here at the bend. 2.5 minutes to go. The fat lady has started to sing. Tell you what, singing a chorus back there as well. And Ryan Hunter, I've just noticed as well in the break, both of these guys running the teammate livery as well. So Ryan Hunter, Josh Rimmer, from some sort of team here as well. So they are they've turned up, new kids on the block with their matching liveries and whatnot, and absolutely spanked the field.
Absolutely, look at that, just filing their way through 2 different manufacturers, 2 different driving styles, teammates. Who gives a rat's toss bag? They are dominating the field at the moment. And we were just having a chat there off camera and off stream as well on the Dan Smith potential performance here. Could have been a spanking there, was the commentary that we heard, and it could have been. But nonetheless, he's going to have to settle what he served up to himself there. Started from the pit lane to Dan Smith, and is still going to get a podium here tonight. We're going to have a good chat to him afterwards, ladies and gentlemen, with under 1.5 minutes left to go in this race. It is looking like this will be the penultimate lap here, because Hunter is now rounding the turn 14 precinct of the circuit. And he's going to start his one with under a minute left to go. But Dan Smith has got third from dead set last, ladies and gentlemen. He's done it 2 weeks in a row now. Started last effectively and basically comes in and just shows him that everyone else out there that I am still Dan the man. You guys are about 2 inches. I've got 12, and that's how we're going to go racing.
Yeah, that's right. The 12-inch cashew, I like to call mine. It's it's a gross underestimation of
Overestimation.
Overestimation. That's what it is. And ladies around the country will agree. Ryan Hunter, though, starting the final. This will be the final lap. Where is he? Yeah, this will be it, ladies and gentlemen. 30 seconds to go. Warren Baker still chiming in the chat. He's got a calendar cat. It's always showing its date. That's what they do best, mate. You're supposed to give it the old push button start there as well. Oh, the Porsches are so far back. That's true. They all started there in the mid-pack, but the first of the Porsches will be Cheech. Big Cheech there in P8, so he's up a position. The rest of them are up as well. It's actually Chambers up 4, Dean Wright up 6, and then the rest of them down the back here, Darren Justice, all actually up from where they started. It's only really Ortner and Savdoritas, Kyle Douglas and Luke Williams who have all sort of lost out along the way in the Porsche department. 9 of them starting this race. How many of them finish? Only 2 of them stopped, so 7 still finishing the race, so not bad there as well. But Hunter now rounding the couple of final turns. That's a 1 hour up, ladies and gentlemen. 60 minutes gone in the blink of an eye. Ryan Hunter rounding the final 2 turns here. Will we get some celebration here from the BMW driver, Zach O'Reilly? He's about to cross the finish start line here now for the win here in round 6 of the Aussie Sim Racing GT3 Challenge. Comes in with a bang, Ryan Hunter. Shotgun off and away he goes. He's bagged a couple of the big game. What do you call them? Big game bloody animals here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We'll give him that. There you go, folks. And I tell you what a race there from him. Actually, absolutely controlled the pack from the very get-go. Put on a masterclass of pace early on. Managed to gap them out by half race distance. Could control the strategy all the way to the end. Took a very late pit stop, and by the time he came back out, didn't have to do any more overtaking on the track. It was all the way of the BMW. Ryan Hunter, take a bow. That's P1, son.
P1 and dominated 20.5 seconds over the old rim job there in second place, who did a very good effort as well for himself in the C8 Corvette. Dan Smith comes through from dead set last to get third place as well. He'll be stoked as a goat. We're going to hear from these 3 drivers as well, Hunter, Rimmer and Smith, in the post-race shenanigans. Garth Duffy, in fact, gets 4th place there in the Mustang. He'll be happy with that too. A good showing out at the bend last time around too for him. Parko gets the straights and comes through in 5th place. Seymour, what could have been for him? He was fighting over 3rd and 4th place, but got 6th in the end, and not too far off Parko in the end. Only half a second between himself. Ferber, Cicciolina, Cairns, and Chambers round out the top 10. And you've got Wright, Rogers, DeBetta, Justice, and Bennett there, Chriso, for the top 15 places. What a race, though.
Yeah.
Goodness me. That you might have looked at the intervals and go 20.5 seconds. Well, that was boring as batshit. But if you just tuned in, go back and watch the start of this race. It had everything. We had jump starters for about 5 seconds before the lights went out, Matt Munro. And then we had contact in the foreground. And this guy just set the standard early. Dan Smith didn't even rock up to the goddamn start of it. Here he goes. There he is. Look at him go. Just down, he goes from bloody 15th down to 6th before the lights even go out, did Matt Munro. Too many bloody Hong Kongs there. And there's a car spinning as well already in the background there too. That Porsche is Gonskis with Kyle Douglas. He couldn't even get off the line. Kobe Marshall had VR issues, got into qualifying, and set a lap time that he knew was going to be about 5th or 6th, but did still admit himself from the race very early. But now time to go to the podium probe here, ladies and gentlemen. Christopher Munro is going to take it away. Dan Smith's already in there. That's how keen he is. 3rd place getter. Fire away, Chris Oak. I'll be there in a second.
Yeah, Daniel Smith not joining the grid for the start, mate. Was that another purposeful give yourself some action to do, or was there some sort of technical issues, a cat jumping on the keyboard again, or what? Oh, hang on a moment. I know what's happened here. Just a moment, folks. My goodness gracious me. Yeah, here we go. Testing. There we go, folks. We are now live with Dan Smith in the box. I'll repeat my question because I was just talking to no one there for a moment. Starting at the back of the grid this time, Dan, was that on purpose or was that another technical issue there? Cat jumping on the keyboard or an Uber driver tapping you on the shoulder or what? What was the go there?
Oh, mate, it was a cat Uber driver, so made me miss the start. Getting my donuts.
That old chestnut. You got to keep yourself interested in these kind of races. Was the
grass?
What was that? What was that?
I thought I'd turn it off.
Yeah, someone with the old soundboard going on there as well. But you had Ryan Hunter give you a fair run in qualifying. What were your thoughts there? Did you want to maybe come from the back to give the BMW a spanking, or were your just thoughts were based around Ferber and the championship?
Yeah, like I just had to finish in front of Ferber. Just a bit of fun. I've done hundreds of laps here, so I thought if I was going to do it anywhere, I'd do it at this track and see how far back I could get.
Yeah, nicely done.
Absolutely, mate. It was a good performance from you from dead set 29th on the grid in the pit lane, basically, and gets through to a podium, just flopping the old member around there and just swinging around elephant style there. But we've got to get to the man who just injected himself figuratively and physically into this series, Ryan Hunter. That was a dominant performance, mate, in a BMW, my friend, as well, which we've seen a couple on the grid, but none be anywhere near the dominant performance there, mate. Tell us, how was that? Congratulations, second of all, as well. And give us an insight on what the hell you just did to that BMW to dominate everyone by 20 and a half seconds.
I don't know. I thought it was a good car. So I'm not. I don't know. I thought it would be a bit of a sweaty race with Daniel getting poles. So I was a bit surprised when he started from the pits, but yeah, just tried to stay consistent, save fuel, and because the pit lane is horrendously long with the speed limit, and yeah, it's a pretty cruisy race, not much to say.
Feels like a bloody eternity when you're cruising down that pit lane. I can give you the hot tip. At 40k an hour after an average of about 150 the whole way around the circuit. Was this a car of choice, or was it just, I'll spin the bottle and whatever I've got underneath the content of iRacing, I'll just pick it, go from there and see how she all goes? Or what, are you in a BMW, let's say, enthusiast in the real life out there?
I don't know, I just wanted to pick something a bit different that probably isn't quite the best car, but isn't bad either. So just a bit of fun.
Yeah, that's right. So it's a nice balanced car as well, and if we get a bit of rain out there as well, I heard it's pretty nice under the wet foot too. But when you came in for your pit stop, we noticed it was a quick one as well. Did you take tyres at all, or was it just straight in for a bit of a splash and then out again?
It's just a front left. I don't think I would have fit any more tyres, but I don't really know if it did much after the stop. Didn't really gain any time. So.
No, he didn't really need to in the end. With I think you had 12 seconds on the second car of Rimmer out there anyway, so it would have been a tall order to throw that away anyway. But no, well done to you, mate. Is this your first race in Aussie sim racing tonight? I think it was.
I did the V8 League like a year ago or so.
Yeah, fair enough.
I've been away for a bit.
Yep, cool. I thought we hadn't called your name before, so yeah, P1 on debut, mate. Well done. We'll give you a virtual round of applause there as well. Beautiful stuff there from Ryan Hunter, ladies and gentlemen. Zach O'Reilly, have you got something for Chocolate Starfish?
I've got the old rim job here, standing right next to me, and goodness gracious me, rim job. I'm telling you, mate, that Corvette of you is just punching holes in the old Chocolate Starfish and rotating at the same time. Was there a chance that there could have been a finger in there, mate, as well, just to up the ante there on Hunter, or did you have you covered?
I think it was a bit tight there, mate. I couldn't squeeze my way through, so... No, it was a silly mistake in the last corner. Just getting a bit too hot and looped her around, but I think I was holding on alright, but the tyres were dying near the end, just couldn't keep the pace up.
Is it your first time in a C8 Corvette yourself, or is it a familiar territory for you?
I've driven it a couple times, but it's not my go-to usually. Usually a Porsche fan, but same as Ryan, I figured I'd try something different for once.
Yeah.
Well, I reckon. Sorry, Chris.
No, you're right. Are you guys like teammates in another league or something? We noticed the similar liveries there, the team liveries.
We do a lot of endurance events together, so.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Spoken like a true man, just focusing on the rim at the moment. He's about as focused as he would be. He's looking at one right now with Rimmer, and he's just got the old cadence bars down. He's seducting the misso.
The chat's going off as well.
Chat's going mental as well. Classic rim jobs in there. Says 92 tuner. Claps one-handed. Says muck ping as well. Goodness me. Classic butt licker is what we're going on here. But it's good performance from you, mate. You absolutely sent it hard and did a very good job as well. We're going to see you in the future, or in the C8, or are you just going to switch your Reno back to the old Porsche next round?
I'll probably stay in the vet.
Yeah, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. 2 Corvettes in the top 3. So you don't often see that, ladies and gentlemen.
You do not. You definitely do not. But I've got one question here for Dan Smith. Are you sweating a bit, mate? Is the old top lip getting a little bit perspired there, and the old hand department just, used to dominating this thing and just swanning off into victory lane every round that you come to, and these boys are starting to show some sort of gut-so towards you? Is there any threat of the manhood?
Yeah, mate. Definitely not going to be starting from pit lane next race.
Oy, there we go.
I was trying pretty hard at the end to catch Mr. Chocky Starfish, but
yeah,
he's had basically the same pace. So
there's one.
Yeah, next
one
race
there.
will be interesting.
We saw you when you closed in on the back of that 3-car battle there as well to make it a 4-car battle. That was probably just before half race distance. Was the pit lane an option there for you at all, or were you pretty sort of dead set on getting a couple of those positions up before you decided to come into the pit lane? Because at the time behind the mic, I thought, this is a perfect opportunity for you to just dive into the pit lane here and go for that undercut while those 3 sort of squabbled away. But you ended up chancing your arm and having a crack, but could not quite get around Parko there in the BMW, and maybe pitted a couple of laps too late in my mind.
Yeah, should have. Basically, as soon as I got to the back of Parko, I should have come into the pits. I thought I'd be able to maybe slip past if I play it right, but yeah, sort of lost a fair bit of time there. So
yeah,
hindsight's 2020.
Yeah,
it always is, mate. It always is. We were calling it here and going, well, we're just commentators. We've got no idea, but we reckon you should have come in at the 30-minute and 43-second mark. I'm pretty sure it was fighting over those guys, because we watched. It was 6/10 that lap, and then it was 7/10 the next. There goes 1.4 seconds or thereabouts, and we were thinking this guy's just robbing himself of a potential P2 here, or even a podium.
Of the Chocky Starfish.
Exactly, mate. I'll tell you what. Speaking of the chocolate starfish, Rimjob, how are we travelling out there in the old after hours department, mate? Are we flying steady, or are we on the old Hinge Tinder sort of style? What's going on?
Private information, mate.
Yeah, he's
turn up, mate.
Holds it close to his chest, mate. He's a Corvette driver. He'd be swimming.
What about Hunter, though? He's swimming in clunge there. What about Hunter, mate? Are you just out there just flicking right all night, or are we not paying for it just yet?
Sure.
On that note, folks, let's wrap it up here, I reckon.
Well, tell you what, it's bloody kebab style here, wrapping it up like at 2 a.m. on a Saturday at the moment. These guys are keeping their cards close to the chest. We don't know what's in those kebabs. I'll tell you what, at the old dodgy 3 a.m. specials after a big night out on the sauce, you just don't know what's in there. Could be cat, could be dog, could be rat, and they claim it as lamb. But we don't know here, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll never know.
Ibis.
Because, what is it?
Ibis. Bin chicken.
Might be a bit of bin chicken stuff as well. But
Delicious.
a good performance from these boys here in the race. Ryan Hunter takes out P1, our race winner, Joshua Rimmer. The rim job gets second place. And Dan Smith, a gallant third from dead set last. He won't be ever Mr. DNSing again from the front row and just being too cocky. He'll be out firing next week and give you the hot tip if these boys are out there. But it is good night and see you later from us here in the box. Thank you to our naming rights sponsors here. ARD Importing, Simulator Driver Training, Bilko Pack, and Speed Nation for that one as well. Your support is amazing. Thank you to all of our viewers out there as well and everyone in the chat out there giving us some entertainment as we're racing onwards and upwards here at Sensational TV. Over 1,500 subscribers here now into 2026, and it's going to be at 2K, I can guarantee you, by the end of this year. And thank you to Christopher Munro for hosting and putting on the event. New graphics as well. Hope you enjoyed those, ladies and gentlemen. Puts the M in magnificent in every department. I'm Zach O'Reilly, though, and you're not. This has been a Sensational TV production. And until tomorrow night, Wednesday Cup style, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you then. But you know what to do until then. Keep it flat out.
Sensational TV YouTube channel. Don't fucking miss it.